This is Richard Greaser, and you're listening to the Paznia Radio Network.
The bandwagon while it's hot. It's time to twist the plebs up into knots. They are useful cannon fodder. Shouting the roof's on fire, tell the sane that they are liars. Who cares about truth or masters of slop. tossing them into sights. It's too easy not to do. Shake the jar and watch them fight. Fill them with venom and spite. The playbook isn't new. Manipulating the masses, the true masters of slaughter.
Welcome, folks, to the Paznia Radio Network. This is your host of the Music Monday Night Show tonight, Richard Greaser. It's been a while. I've been gone for like a month, and I'm back now. Sometimes life gets complicated. There's a lot of moving pieces when you're doing things, when you're somebody that is doing things because they have the luxury of doing things, of choosing what they do because they smoke cigarettes like I do and listen to Bitcoin podcasts. Life can get a little bit complicated, but yeah, I've been smoking Marlboro Blacks. This is what I've been on for a little bit. Gotten away from the Reds. It's mostly just because these packs are cool, but they're a damn good cigarette, and man, is life great right now. Having a hell of a time. I'm enjoying writing all this music. That song just debuted it today. It's called Masters of Slop. And folks, the Masters of Slop are having a field day right now. It's pretty entertaining to watch them. It's pretty entertaining to watch the plebs fall for the slop. You know, you can try and reason with the plebs. Not going to get very far. They're just going to get mad at you. They're not going to have enough context to even be able to consider any conflicting information that you give them. They've already taken the slop, hopped on the bandwagon. They are hooked, hook, line, and sinker. So all you really could do is just chuckle. Just chuckle at the plebs. Maybe feel a little bit bad for them. Maybe feel bad that they're having a really bad time. And they just don't understand what's happening. But yeah, man, the world is crazy. But one thing that's really awesome that's happening right now is my friend Noah Grumman, very awesome individual, is currently touring with the band Sabaton in Europe, playing stadiums. She's on stage performing in front of, like, I think the average show she's doing right now is like 14,000 people. And it's sick. It's so cool that she has that opportunity. Really excited for her. And I hope she has a lot more opportunities. But yeah, she's a great individual. Really likes Bitcoin. She's kind of tired of the pleb slop, as many of us are. But instead of being consumed by it, she's actually doing something cool. She in no way is a pleb. because she's on stage doing something. The plebs are the ones that sit at home and twist themselves in the knot. They're just bystanders in all the shit that's going on. But yeah, if you want to know what the Paznia radio network is, Paznia is hard to explain. But essentially, it's a free republic of individuals kind of banded together. I'm on the periphery of it, but my good friend Rayo organizes this. But essentially, the beginnings of a decentralized citadel in a way. And if you want to learn more about it, or just the general philosophy of what they're doing, go over to libertyunderattack.com. You can buy some non KYC books with Bitcoin. If you feel like shitcoining, you can pay with Monero. If you want to feel a little bit dirty, offensive maximalist, and probably one of the best ways to offend them. But yeah, libertyunderattack.com, non KYC books is where I buy my non KYC books. And they're oftentimes books you don't find in other places. But yeah, we need more non KYC books. It's a cool thing. But yeah. So this show is me rambling and playing some music. And most of my music that I write, or pretty much all of it, is just social commentary on the world that we see around us. And it's a hell of a it's such an interesting time to be alive right now, because I think we've hit the point where it's safe to just call statism pedophilia. I think we've hit that point where it was probably safe before, but I think the statists are so demoralized at this point, and they should be demoralized. You should feel really shitty if you're supporting this criminal apparatus called government. You should feel really shitty about it, because it's a really shitty thing to do. These guys are not your friends. They don't care about you. They just want to steal all your shit. And not only that, they're giving each other blowjobs. Donald Trump is out there giving Bill Clinton blowjobs, chuckling at how, imagine how just having that tidbit of information. And what I'm referring to is some emails that were released from Jeffrey Epstein talking to his brother. Who knows if it's literal or not, but I think at this point we'll just accept it as canon. Donald Trump was giving Bill Clinton blowjobs. But imagine, go back to the 2016 election cycle where they're debating each other, and just rethink Hillary's anger at him. She's up there on stage. She's just so pissed. She's remembering that time that Bill Clinton came home and told her that Trump gave her a better blowjob, and she has that than Hillary. And not only that, Hillary's thinking of Monica too. And Hillary has to go on stage and debate this guy, who her husband told her gave him better blowjobs than her. And just rethink the anger that she has. But this is these are the heroes of statism, the best and the brightest that people are worshiping. And when these people are going out there and they're talking about the importance of regulatory clarity and bending over backwards for the state to come in, fondle your ball sack in order to pump the Bitcoin price. These are the types of individuals we're dealing with. people that Jeffrey Epstein said were bad people. Pretty wild. I think it's really it's really hard to justify at this point. But I was kind of chuckling, because with this revelation, I think this is the president that America deserves. Because many Americans have been some of the most ignorant people on the earth. And they continue to be. Americans like to turn their nose up at these other countries and tell people to stand up to tyranny. And then they chuckle about how free they are. It's like the luxury that Americans have is because the United States federal government is going and pillaging the rest of the world. Both physically through military conquest, but also through the money printer. And so the reason why you're enjoying these luxuries is because these guys in Washington that are giving each other blowjobs are sending off a bunch of brainwashed kids, mostly. Because most people that join the military, they're just kids. They're sending brainwashed kids with expensive weapons to go pillage the rest of the world. And not only that, these people in Washington are just, being awful to their people and stealing from them. It really is like it's Stockholm syndrome. And you're seeing this, like the wheels are falling off the bus, the money's broken, it's getting bad, and the broccoli haircuts around the world are getting fed up with it. They're getting fed up with it, and they're going and they're tearing down their governments, their buildings. They're protesting, like in Mexico. The broccoli haircuts are going crazy. And I'm not advocating for that, but I want people to understand these individuals in Washington that hang out at ping pong eating cheese pizza are not your friends. It should be pretty apparent, but a lot of people are struggling with that concept, but it's just, we have to remind them over and over again that the people that they're asking us to play ball with are on the Epstein list. They're not legitimate. I mean, it's like one thing to like try and minimize the damage these guys are causing to you in your life, but like it's another thing to legitimize their authority. Absolutely. They don't have authority. The authority that they have is that they have guns. It's not a legitimate authority in the sense of like there's this magical consent from the population. Any consent that it is either ignorance or just not wanting to put up a fight and realizing it, which isn't really consent. That's duress. That's coercion. So anyways, let's make fun of some status this week. So I released a new album. It's on Spotify and, Apple. You can go listen to it. It's on Wavelake too. It's called Doomsday's DJ. So I'm going to play a bunch of songs from that. I'm playing a lot of my newer music and got 2 new songs tonight, one of which you already heard, The Masters of Slop. That was an epic song. I really like that one. But yeah, folks, this is the first song off the new album titled Doomsday's DJ. I'm going to go take a cigarette break.
I'm Doomsday's DJ, and I want to welcome you to the show. Together, let's enjoy the view of the end of the world.
Invasions, bombs, chaos, and black swans, it's all rock, revelations, Armageddon, tribulation, it's the end of the world, so you might as well dance.
I'm Doomsday's DJ, and I'm not gonna tell you what you already know. Together, let's enjoy the view of the end of the world.
Can you feel the dance? Dance, 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 dance. found the courage to fight, weighing the cost of facing the system's rejection. The masses are lost, but you have direction. Why do they feel threatened by people with self-respect? We will not kneel and pretend or numb out and disconnect. We're here together, watching the world fall apart. I know you feel the pressure, but this is just the start. Come take my hand, let's make a stand. Here is our chance, it's time to dance. Come and take my hand, we'll dance until the end. While the world is falling apart, they won't understand, but let them all be dead. Feel the music in your heart. The war will not be won if we can't have fun. Have the courage to use your mind. They may hate our means, but they cannot crush our dreams. We can still have a good time. Don't let them get you down, that's what they try to do. Break down your sense of self by mocking what is true. If you don't believe your eyes and refuse to use your brain, you will fall for their lies and likely go insane. Come take my hand, let's make a stand. Here is our chance, it's time to dance, 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 Come and take my hand, we'll dance until the end. While the world is falling apart, they won't understand, but let them all be dead. Feel the music in your
I've been making music videos for all these songs, and so I'm in the middle of a new one right now. I should get out sometime this week, depending on what's going on. But yeah, if you want to check out the music videos, I post them on Twitter, but you can go over to the Bugle News YouTube channel and check those out. I think they're pretty cool. But feels like the end of the world, and for a lot of people it is. For a lot of people it's just the beginning, you know. It's an opportunity to really see things for what they are. The pain kind of snaps certain individuals out of insomnia, because pain is really just like a catalyst for growth. It's a catalyst for change. Typically, people don't feel the need to create any change in their lives until they feel some sort of pain. So oftentimes, pain is one of the best circumstances that can happen to somebody if they're able to respond in a productive manner. Now, not everybody can. Not everybody is capable of it. Some people just, collapse under pain. They grow into victims and they feel really sad about things. And not much you can do for those people. All you can really do is allow people to face the consequences of their actions and like really try and support individuals that it's productive to support. It's productive to spend your time on. Sometimes you can help somebody that's hurting, but if they're just maybe they just need to feel a little bit more pain before they're ready to change. But folks, we're in the fourth turning. Pain is here. Pain is coming, and you're gonna need friends to get through it. So I've been studying pleb slop for a while now. This has been an ongoing long term study of pleb slop, the dynamics of it, the individuals spewing it, their motivations behind it, talking to individuals that consume it, watching their reactions over a series of years. And I think, one of the things that makes people vulnerable to pleb slop is being disconnected from other people. And we're seeing this, strange phenomenon. I think it's new to human history, which is that individuals are being connected with each other over long distances in kind of niche ideas. So Bitcoin, in many ways, is a niche idea. Anarchism is a niche idea. Both of those together are niches within niches. And it's hard to relate to a lot of people around you because not everybody around you gets it. But there are people that are scattered all over the world that kind of believe similar things, and so people kind of congregate on social media. But when they're not engaged and active and really do a ton of effort, put in a ton of effort to understand the intricacies of what's going on, and all they have is just avatars on the internet that they're interacting with, it's kind of hard to decipher what's going on. Like, all they really have is the ability to look at different narratives and, oftentimes just kind of fall along whichever one feels good to follow. And they try and determine based on feeling, because if you don't have context, you don't really have anything else to go off of but feeling. How does this person make you feel when they talk to you? And somebody might make you feel really good, but they're a complete swindler. And you have no idea how to figure that out. Somebody might make you feel real bad, but they're telling the truth. Somebody might be completely aligned with things that you think are wrong, but they're telling the truth. And the person that you think is aligned with you is lying. And so what I think is happening is many people, they see the engagement online. They don't know how these platforms work, how the information is manipulated. They're just unaware of how these mechanisms work. And so what they do is they try and jump on the bandwagons because they don't have people in their lives that are like them, that are like-minded. So they want to feel like they're part of the in-group. They want to join the group chat. They want to get the inside access of this group to experience this connection with other people that are like them, that they may have never met before in person. Have no way to validate them. And it's creating these weird dynamics. And people that understand these dynamics, unfortunately, are able to use them against people and turn plebs into cannon fodder. And so I think it's really important to have friends, like people around you in your life that are aligned enough that you can really lean on. And these individuals don't always have to have read all the same books that you've read or listen to all the same Bitcoin podcasts that you've read. They might not give a shit. But, hopefully, what you can find in individuals are just people that will show up and people that have your back, types of people that will bail you out of jail or whatever the situation is. Show up and pick you up if you get in a car crash. Those are the type of individuals you need. Because if you have that sense of connection with people like that, you're not going to be as immune to the pleb slot. But the pleb slot really took off when everybody was isolated from each other during the COVID lockdowns. They were bored. They're sitting around, so they hop on Twitter and they form meme gangs. It seems like the meme gangs are dead. There's some discussion as to where they went. I think some of them just got tired of the pleb slop. I think some people are saying that Nayib Bukele killed the meme gangs. There's a possibility there. Rounded up all the people with tattoos and Edgar haircuts and threw them in prison, so they're not meme ganging anymore. But the meme gangs disappeared. I think part of it is just like, people weren't bored sitting at home disconnected from each other. But I don't really know, there were a lot of social connections that people built up their whole lives that were completely evaporated, eviscerated as due to the lockdowns. Because people got into this fight or flight mentality and became super reactive. Somebody thought differently than they did. That person became a threat. They cut them out from their lives. There are probably some people that needed to break off relationships in general, and it was just a catalyst to do that. But there were a lot of, really long-term relationships that people became so polarized and divided on, and it was largely because of pleb slop on the internet. The slop really started taking off, but the slop's accelerating. Times are getting difficult and have been for some time for a lot of people. There's a lot of pressure that you're feeling, which is, when you have that pressure, some people break under it. Some people lose their minds. And you're seeing this. You're seeing this around our society and our culture. People are losing their minds right now. And a good way to keep your mind is music, is artistic expression, really consuming, like going in and finding really compelling and interesting stories. Because your life is a story. You're writing the story with your life. And, when you look at it as a compelling story instead of a boring story, you're actively engaged in the plot of your life instead of it just being like some like background noise like the Food Network. You're just tuning out. When you're alive and you're engaged in your life, in the plot of your life, writing that story, and you're interested by it, it's a lot easier to stay sane with all the bullshit that's going on, all the gaslighting, with how difficult it is to determine reality. When you're sitting around a fire smoking cigarettes with your friends, playing music on the guitar, doing stuff like that, it's going to feel really good versus just being online, being bombarded with pleb slop. People telling you that the roof's on fire, that the thing that you dedicate a lot of time and energy into being obsessed with is going to die unless everybody else changes their behavior and mind. You're just going to be less susceptible to those types of narratives. Yeah, I hope you're doing that. I mean, I've done a lot of that recently. Sit around a campfire, smoking cigarettes with good friends. Dumping a ton of energy into songwriting, artistic expression, like relearning the piano. That's been a blast. Taking singing lessons. That's been a blast. I've been having a fucking blast. Like, I'm really liking it. We're cranking with the bugle. The bugle's doing great. Ron and I are having a blast. Some of the most fun I've ever had in my life. And you know, I'm watching people freak out and not have a very good time. It's a bummer. It's a bummer for them. But you know what? One of the things that's important right now is to realize whoever has the most fun wins. Whoever feels the best wins. Like it's people are gonna like this is really a battle of morale. Largely speaking, if your morale is good, if you're excited about life, if you're excited about the people around you, you're gonna feel really good. You're gonna be light years ahead of the other people. And so if you have a motivation, if you have a group of people, if you have a cause, you need to find people and try and boost their morale. Help them know that they're not crazy. But yeah, I hope it's just like know that people are having a hard time right now. And when you're with people that you care about, just like really make sure to try and encourage them. Because they need it. Like it really is a luxury to not be a total lemming. And I don't know why some people are, but a lot of people are resistant to smoking cigarettes. But yeah, okay, so the next song, folks, is off the album Doomsday's DJ. It's called Lemmings. And I am currently in the process of making the music video, but I'm going to play a couple songs and check back with you in a minute. Oh, well, that didn't work. All right, let's see. Work. Nope. All right, I'm fiddling with my software. Yeah, it's a cool song. I mean, I enjoyed writing it. All right, let's just keep on. Huh. I think I need to re-upload this. Well, you know, folks, there's never. Actually, here's what I'll do. I'll play this song and then I'll come back to it, folks. All right, next song is John Galt of Journalism, followed up by Here With Me Now.
The odds stacked against me from the day I was born. The world looked upon me with a disdain and scorn. But deep in my chest there was a dream, a foolish will to fight in order to become redeemed. Oh, it never was a fair fight. They came for me in the dark of night, tried to kill my independence, accept the sinister agendas. They told me what to think, told me I was broken, sent me to a shrink. They tried to tell me what to do, put me in a worthless box. But I'm the master of my mind until my heart stops. I'm no hero, I'm no devil. I came to do what needs to be done. Riding off into the distance towards the quickly setting sun. Typing away at my typewriter, I could not give a damn. Smoking all day like a chimney. I'm the modern Marlboro Man. come again to try and crush my resolve. But there is a permanent problem, one which they cannot solve. I've read Atlas Shrugged one too many times. I'm the John Gold of journalism, exposing all their crimes. They try to tell me what to do, put me in a worthless box, but I'm the master of my mind until my heart stops. I'm no hero, I'm no devil. I came to do what needs to be done, riding off into the distance towards the quickly setting sun. Typing away at my typewriter, I could not give a damn, smoking all day like a chimney. I'm the modern Marlboro man. I remember their disdain and scorn, and will make sure they regret the day I was born. Deep in my chest there is a dream, a foolish will to fight. I've been redeemed for doing what is right. I'm no hero, I'm no devil. I came to do what needs to be done, riding off into the distance towards a quickly setting sun. Typing away at my typewriter, I could not give a damn. My name is Richard Creaser, and I'm the modern Marlboro man. The odds stacked against me from the day I was born. The world looked upon me with a disdain and scorn. But deep in my chest there was a dream, a foolish will to fight in order to become redeemed. Oh, it never was a fair fight. They came for me in the dark of night, tried to kill my independence, accept the sinister agendas. They told me what to think, told me I was broken, sent me to a shrink. They tried to tell me what to do, put me in a worthless box.
It's hard not to be consumed with doubt, but I'm okay 'cause you're here with me now.
Yeah.
The person on the TV screams for more war, arguing that only dropping bombs can settle the score. More printing and surveillance, we've been here before, but the pain is so intense that it can't be ignored. Getting priced out of the things that bring you purpose. A generation aimlessly wandering, feeling worthless. The masses are angry, arguing who to steal from, but I'm just here trying to experience freedom. Being a slave to no one is what I dream of, but the slaves around me want me to be them. There are days it feels like I'm all alone, consumed by the isolation of being unknown. I'm glad you're with me 'cause I need it. Hopelessness is alive, but you can't be alone to defeat it.
The world around us may be crashing down. It's hard not to be consumed with doubt, but I'm okay 'cause you're here with me now. Ooh, I've been searching all around, praying to
consider the opinions of the people bringing us to the brink. I just want to work hard, but they keep getting in my way, leeching off my labor because they have debts to pay. When sanity and honesty are discouraged and condemned, society lacks a moral compass. Truth is like dust in the wind. The temptation for despair grows like a raging storm. There is an anger in my chest for trying to make me conform. They tell me that I'm sick for trusting my gut and having conviction, while they spin their tales of insidious fiction. They think my body and mind is their jurisdiction, yet the pictures they paint a riddle with obvious contradiction. The whole system is rotten from top to bottom. I will fight to the death before self-respect is forgotten.
The world around us may be crashing down. It's hard not to be consumed with doubt. But I'm okay 'cause you're here with me now. I've been searching all around, praying to be found. But I'm not alone because you're here with me now. With me now. With me now.
The truth matters because lies have consequences. You can't get to where you want if you accept their pretenses. Democracy is about using bad information to form consensus. Learning what's real, you must learn to trust your senses. It hurts to see how the world works, but hurts more to ignore it. Running up debts but future generations can't afford it. Having a future worth living in lies to the few that can see. We rely on those who are willing to die in order to be free. Many choose to sacrifice their lives to protect the status quo, dying for their rulers who sit in safety on their throne. Despite all the chaos, we found each other somehow. Hope is not lost because you're here with me now. The evil is overwhelming, but finding beauty is an art. Darkness is the absence of light. Lighting a fire is the start. Yeah.
The world around us may be crashing down. It's hard not to be consumed with doubt. But I'm okay 'cause you're here with me now. I've been searching all around, praying to be found. But I'm not alone because you're here with me now.
All right, apologies on gotta fiddle with the music some more, I guess. Um yeah, one of the problems with doing live streams is just like you're gonna run into technical issues. I was getting pinged on Twitter by this macro minutes guy talking about the economics of pleb slop. It's a very real thing. So, people spewing the slop, it's they do it because it's lucrative. All these media, social media companies, YouTube, Twitter, they made it incredibly lucrative to be a master of slop. The information economy has been consumed by slop, top to bottom. All the models are built to get the widest audience. So they create the dumbest content for the most people to consume. And it's very isolating and ostracizing for people that have a brain, like thoughtful stuff. It's hard to connect with, individuals when all they want to talk about is the slop, political slop, music slop, boomer slop. Like, talk about boomer slop when everybody was all wound up about Cracker Barrel. It's like, hey, I just cannot even imagine dedicating any effort or energy to even giving a shit about Cracker Barrel changing their logo. That is some absolutely atrocious boomer slop. You won't find me at a Cracker Barrel ever. Got better things to do. A lot better things to do. Most of us do. I hope you do. Um, but yeah, these creators on these content platforms are getting paid sometimes thousands of dollars a month to just put these like atrocious breaking tweets out. Jamie Dimon says this about Bitcoin. Larry Fink says this about Bitcoin. These guys are getting paid a lot of money to do this stuff. And that's why your feed looks that way. That's why, people get dumb ideas about things. A lot of people are just headline readers. But go get wound up by a headline. Saw this week. Some people getting mad at Lowell Elites. Lowell Elites is hot, by the way. I'm sure you guys all realize that. She is running a publication called The Rage, which is a pretty interesting publication. And, she is a credentialed journalist reporting on topics that a lot of people aren't willing to report on, reporting on, privacy related topics. And she put out an article talking about where some Bitcoin developers were getting funding from. It's funny, like there's a bunch of no coiners running around. I don't think people have figured out, like the people that don't like Bitcoin, they haven't figured out how to spin this one yet. To either say that Epstein was funding core developers and influenced Bitcoin, or to say that his funding of core developers had little influence on Bitcoin. Crater came out, one of the masters of slop. He came out and said that it didn't, and that Lola should spend her time looking at other individuals funding core developers like Chain Code Labs. So he dismissed her, but he didn't attack her this time. I'm sure he'll attack her next time. He's very dismissive, but she was just reporting on information that was revealed in recent emails that were disclosed by a court. One of the emails, this is the same slew of emails that people are saying Trump gave Bill Clinton a blowjob from, that she's pulling from and talking about Epstein's funding of Bitcoin developers. But yeah, I mean, it's the general population. If you want to hyper Bitcoinize Bitcoin, it kind of makes sense to promote the idea that Jeffrey Epstein was Satoshi. And some people are out there claiming that. I think some of the Zcash guys are like, "Oh yeah, we'll get him this time. We're going to say Epstein is Satoshi." But the average population, they look around them, and Jeffrey Epstein is a household name, but they just kind of like ignore it. You know what I mean? Like, to them, being on the Epstein list means some sort of like authority or competency, that they should trust them, because the people on the Epstein are in government. They're ruling the world. At least in their eyes. And so I think optically it's probably good for Bitcoin. Get the fiat no coiner plebs interested in it. But yeah, no, I mean, I think the takeaway, from it, is you just look at the slop of like, people having these knee jerk reactions and not actually, doing any reading into it and trying to understand the situation. Because you should, despite Lola being hot, you should still question the stuff that she puts out, and you should question, stuff that other people put out too. Always have your brain turned on. But questioning is very different than just spewing, having some sort of reactionary slop response in order to spin something into your narrative. But I think the takeaway from this, of this is just because there's a larger story here. It's not just the Epstein funded Bitcoin development. He had his hands everywhere in every part of the financial and political world. And this is just kind of how power works, how control works, how influence works. And I think that's one of the takeaways is just like, learning and seeing how this stuff works and how, the elections really aren't, and what is presented to you, what you learned in school about the way the world works. It's not even, it's a very, I don't know what to call it, but just role playing. It's like, these people in Washington, this is something the plebs need to realize and understand is, it's like this in Bitcoin too. Like the masters of pleb slop are trying to convince the plebs that they have a seat at the adult table and that going on Twitter and yelling at people is voicing their opinion in a meaningful way, which is funny. It's not. Like Mechanic will go out there and he'll talk about why it's these core devs suck because they're not willing to deal with the abuse of the low context plebs on Twitter. It's funny because it's just they make up such a small part of the population of people engaging with Bitcoin. They might be the loudest on a particular platform, but they have the least amount of power. They're sitting at the kids' table, thinking that it's the adult table. Like if you don't even know where you are, how are you even gonna have some influence over the world around you? You're sitting at the kids' table while the masters of slop, the adults in the room, the people that know how the way the world works are chuckling at how cute they are. But it's the same in the world of politics. Like when you're showing up to a voting booth and you're voting, you're showing up to the kids' table. Mom asked you if you want macaroni or French fries. You think you have a choice. You get to control what you eat because you get the choice between macaroni and French fries. While the adults are giving each other blowjobs at the adult table, Clinton and Trump, and whoever else, is involved behind the scenes. Those guys are just kind of figureheads that I don't really think have a lot of power. But, they're doing that stuff while you're sitting there and eating your macaroni and cheese, thinking that you have opinion. Like this is what's happening with the plebs and thinking that buying trinkets to decentralize or secure the network is really doing anything. Like if you want to actually have influence over things, you have to do things to have influence. You have to play the game. You have to be an active participant in your own life and the world around you. And yelling at people on social media really isn't a meaningful way to do it unless you're like incredible at it. But yeah, I don't know where I was rambling with that, but anyways, I've been enjoying a lot of music. I've been listening to a lot of Jesse Wells. I really like Jesse Wells. I've been listening to all sorts of stuff. I haven't been listening to as much Stardust recently, but I'm excited. Their new album is pretty good that they released earlier this year in the summer. If you haven't checked it out yet, Stardust, really good. Noah Grumman on tour with Sabaton in Europe. But next couple songs I have titled Lemmings and Pioneer. So Lemmings is the one I was talking about earlier. I think it should work this time. Apologies for the technical difficulties. I'm in the middle of making a music video for this one, but it will be out later this week. There we go.
Pacing, it's got me up late tonight. The false cool air is just beginning to bite. Brains are breaking, the feds are playing their cards. There's no surprise, the plebs have always been retards. There is a consistent faces, angry noise, angry people pointing fingers at everything but themselves. Why can't they stop and think? Oh hell, they're all losing their minds. Oh hell, falling to their designs. Oh hell, they're all losing their minds. Oh hell, falling to their designs. I wanna lose my mind. Fear tends to make society go insane. When emotions blaze, it's hard to use your brain. I'm not a part of their team, I'm just being me. There's no more energy to give you my sympathy. I've seen it all before. It's a psychological war. But once again, you're bringing conflict to my door. Angry faces, angry noise, angry people pointing fingers at everything but themselves. Why can't they stop and think? Oh hell, they're all losing their minds. Oh hell, falling to their designs. Oh hell, they're all losing their minds. Oh hell, falling to their designs.
There are those who blaze trails, whose actions tip history scales. They endure pain and frustration to prepare for the coming devastation. Weak men have made times hard. The plebs are being retards, but the pioneer is in charge. The pioneers are in charge. Pioneers are in charge.
Pioneers are in charge.
Using their minds, they stand tall, moving forward while the masses feel small, creating change while others are afraid, choosing to lead instead of obey. Weak men have made times hard. The plebs are being retards, but the pioneer is in charge. Pioneers are in charge. Pioneers are in charge. There's a small remnant that is scattered. They rebuild when everything shatters. They have a vision and a goal, and will never be controlled. Weak men make times hard. The plebs are being retards, but the pioneer is in charge. Pioneers are in charge. Pioneers are in charge. The masses stare at their screens while the pioneers pursue their dreams. Unswayed by the whims of NPCs, they are the ones the world needs.
So, I'm going after the idea of the plebs. I'm not going after plebs. I'm going after the idea of plebs. And people that take it personally, I think have some self reflection to do, because I think it is pretty clear to see what I'm doing. What I'm trying to tell people is that if you're sitting at the kids' table, you're really not that important. And you should stop, kids need to behave. You're sitting at the kids' table, you need to shut up and let the grown-ups talk. You can hang out and you can talk to the other kids and eat your macaroni or french fries. It's fine, but you have to behave. The adults are trying to do something. And there's been a lot of people that have self-identified as plebs, and the reason why that's been encouraged in the Bitcoin ecosystem is because it's easy to take the plebs and turn them into a marketing campaign for your pleb slop company. You've seen this. You've seen a lot of companies in the Bitcoin ecosystem. They've engaged heavily in media, to steal the minds of the plebs and direct them at their enemies and do their marketing for them. Instead of, they go out there and they tell stories. And it's not all been bad. But this is what happened. Some of the marketing was good. There was a lot of energy put at differentiating between shitcoins and Bitcoin. And it's useful information that had there not been so much effort put into that, people probably wouldn't have learned so quickly. But there's a dangerous thing that happens with telling the plebs that their opinions matter. Sometimes they get rowdy and they turn on you. But we're seeing this on Twitter. And this is one of the great things of social media. I think it acts as like an escape hatch or a release valve where, people could go. You see this with like the Libertarian Party and, a lot of these accounts, like they'll go out there and, every time the ATF, like, I think they do this intentionally. Like they will tweet something out that's like really ridiculous. Like, we're remembering the death of the ATF agents at Waco. Look at this shitstorm of angry libertarians making fun of them. Be like, oh, you stupid ATF guys, you're gay. And they're like, okay, well, we're putting this guy on a list. We're putting this guy on a list. But, what's being done there is people are wasting their time. They're not really convincing anybody of anything other than maybe it's fun to, spend all your time lashing out at psychopathic people on the internet. But like, when people are doing this, they're not really doing any lashing out. It says, and I don't necessarily, believe in lashing out. I believe in like trying to emancipate yourself and move away from these systems of power as much as possible. Like when I'm conducting a non KYC cigarette transaction, I'm trying to do it in a way that where the government's just not involved to mess around. I mean, that's part of the reason of doing the non KYC cigarette transaction. Period. But I'm not just trying to tear down the plebs. What I'm also trying to do is I'm trying to tell this story of like, you can be an active, you can sit at the adults table. You can be an adult. You don't have to be a loser. You can be an active participant in your life. You can work hard at things. You can build things. You can turn off the slop TV channel and really be engaged in your community and the people around you. And the term that I've used to replace this, because I think like, while having a term isn't really necessary, I think as like an interim, for somebody to move away from the group think, low context, isolated, sad and grumpy pleb into like a self-confident individual, they need a term. They need something to envision before they go out and determine for themselves what that really means. And I have replaced it with pioneer, because I think being a pioneer, it's a cool image. It's a cool image, that I think is relatable to what we're experiencing today, because what a lot of people are realizing is that they have to go out and do these things that are new to them, that are unknown. They have to travel into areas where there's not a lot of documentation on what to do. They have to raise their kids differently than the rest of society does. They have to live different lifestyles. They have to engage with people around them differently. The way that the average person, the average pleb interacts with people is typically not healthy. They have unhealthy marriages. They have unhealthy diets, lifestyles, thought processes. Everything that they're doing is unhealthy. Spiritual sickness. And the individuals that are actually sentient and making decisions for themselves, they have to reinvent things in a lot of ways and go a very different direction, like the pioneers did. Most of the people back in the day, before most of the world was settled like it is today, and there was a bunch of infrastructure laid out. They There were this small minority of people that were like, "Hey, I'm not really loving the city life. I want to go out and build something new for myself. Go into the unknown. Go to where there hasn't been discoveries." And in many ways, like what is being presented in this narrative around Bitcoin, in a lot of ways, is ushering a very different type of money. It's reinventing money. It's reinventing human interaction through the exchange of value. You're going off into the unknown. You're acquiring this magical internet currency, and you're figuring out how to secure it and how to use it in the world around you. All the while doing things that are very different than the rest of society and culture, consuming very different information. Maybe you're actually reading books, trying to learn about things. Maybe you're spending hours watching YouTube tutorials on how all your appliances work, and just like having an understanding of how to fix things. You're actively using your mind in one way or another to become better at what you're doing. It's very unusual. And I think the term pioneer, at least as a transition away, is helpful. And you can kind of determine what you are. But I'm a credentialed journalist. That's where I've settled. Um let's see, how long are we in the stream? Okay. Got about another 30 minutes left. Um yeah, writing this album has been fun. It's been fun. It's been interesting. I've been listening to electronic music. I'm experimenting with some new stuff. I kind of did a metal song. I really do like metal music a lot, and I would like to get back into it. But I've been writing uh, a lot of music that I also haven't been publishing recently. I've been writing a lot of music for the piano and singing uh, that I plan on performing, and that's been a really cool process. It's been a ton of fun. I spent a lot of time at the piano, and I think it's just great. I think activities like that are great because they unplug you from the matrix. Like it's really hard to be sitting there tuned into the pleb slop unless you're playing pleb slop music when you're actively playing music. I think these activities like this are super useful, and it's even better when you get together with a group of other people and you're performing and playing music together and collaborating. Like that's a really cool experience. It's a very cool experience that I encourage you to, find other people like that if you're into that. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's been cool. Like, I made friends with people that are playing, really talented musicians. Like I talk about Noah Gurman a lot. Uh, and it's cool to listen to your friends' music. It's really cool. My friend Bubba that I had on the show, he's been writing a ton of music. Got a new guitar. It's been awesome to see what he's doing. He's been playing a lot on his podcast. But I think what we need, and part of the reason why I like music so much is music is like magic. It's a way to communicate ideas in a neutral way that people can hear in a very different way. And when you perform it for people, you can really help them feel a certain way. You can really set the tone. It's like it's almost like you're casting spells. And you can see it, like some people cast bad spells on people, some people cast, more positive spells on people. And I'm not saying this literally. I hope Matthew Cratter does a video on this and cuts it out of context. Richard Greaser's talking about black magic on people using music. I'm not talking about doing music, so it sounds like satanic messages when you play backwards, though I have not tried that with any of the music that I've written yet. I'm not aware of any of that. Be kind of interesting to do. I'm talking about you can have a ton of influence over people, and you can get them to really think or really feel or really not think. You can put out pleb slop music and just get people's eyes to glaze over. They might enjoy it, but it might not mean anything. But music's an opportunity to tell compelling stories. And I think that's what a lot of people really need right now, or almost universally. I think people need compelling stories all the time, but it's when times get difficult, when there's a lot of pressure, a lot of chaos, a lot of conflict, people need compelling stories to get through it. And the state has known this for all of eternity, like this great game of morale. Because what the state has done over and over again is they have convinced the plebs to go off as cannon fire and die for no reason for these wars. They die for individuals that don't care about them, that loathe them, that want their destruction. And like, to be clear, I'm shitting on the plebs a lot, but I do not loathe the plebs. I'm just setting boundaries with them. If you're not going to act like an adult and be a competent individual that has anything valuable to offer, I just don't really care. And I don't think other people should care. That doesn't mean I dislike you. That doesn't mean I hate you. It doesn't mean that I feel like you should be murdered or stolen from. I think it's bad to abuse the plebs. In the same way I think it's bad to abuse children. Part of the reason why I don't support government is I just don't believe in the abuse of children. Like, it's something that's awful to me. But these governments realize that they put so much energy and effort into telling compelling stories, and I think, if there's any hope of liberty and freedom in the future of humanity, there needs to be the people that care about these topics. They need to be telling compelling stories, and they need to do it a better job than the state is. And music's one of the best ways to do that. And so, when I look at this community and I look at the plebs and they're slopping up pleb slop and they just ignore, like, for example, Noah Grumman today posted this awesome video. It finally got some engagement, which was cool. But she posted this awesome video of her on stage. Here, I'll share this with you guys. That's her. It's my friend Noah. She's in front of this Massive audience. Look at how many people there are. How many plebs there are. She's on Twitter. She's on Noster. Let's see. She thinks she likes the Beagles. Huge fan. She has 373 followers on Twitter. I think a couple thousand on Noster. But her and her band, they put out this awesome song, this awesome metal song called Rip. And they did this really cool music video. That was showcasing Bitcoin and Satoshi. There was a ton of Easter eggs in it. A ton of Bitcoin. They had the white paper in it. I can't get any, it's interesting to see where people's energy goes to, because they'd rather listen to slop. They'd rather go to Bitcoin University and hear a completely distorted view of reality, where it's incredible watching this guy that calls himself a college professor just spew nonsense. It's not even remotely close to true, over and over again, and go and attack people. Use his platform as bully pulpit. People choose to watch that, and they choose to, just kind of glance over Noah, who's actually doing really cool things. Like really cool things. Like she's very talented and skilled. Like that's no joke. She's standing there performing in front of on tour in Europe, doing this every couple nights, for a couple months. And part of telling compelling stories is finding people like her who are good at it, who are really good and skilled, and promoting them. But I think there's a lot of room to grow. Part of the reasons why we've been so adamant at pointing out the pleb slop is there's a serious need for reframing over what's important, what's compelling, what's interesting, what's productive. And I'm sorry, but all this slop of arguing about nothing when there's actually interesting things to be discussed, they're like giving people at the kids table a voice, like they're actually discussing something that's interesting. They're arguing about whether there needs to be more salt on their French fries. It's just it's not interesting. It's not compelling. All right, let's see if this works this time. This is Ember in the Dark, and then come back for one short bit, and then I'll play the final song, which is also a new debut.
We draw together closer, looking for the escape, searching for shelter from the storm's rage. All I wanted you to see is the ember burning in the dark, like a beacon to the lost, a challenge to leave you marked in the darkness. We are fighting. We are climbing. We are fighting. We are climbing to see.
So sorry, I've got a little bit of ADHD over here, and I keep on trailing off on tangents. So I'm reading the I'm reading the comments on Noah's video that she posted. It just cracks me up. Like people are in here doing purity tests. Like this is their response. They're like, okay, she tweeted about Plebslav. She knows what's going on. She's on stage in front of 14,000 people, and they're like, Bitcoin only or go fuck yourself. Man, I understand going after the shitcoiners, but you know, it's just it's astounding to see these kind of like brain dead, like, you know, next people are going to go after her because she doesn't support knots, and then they're going to call her transgender, and then they're going to or whatever else it is. This is what the plebs do, the Bitcoin plebs. They're like, hell yeah, toxic maximalist. Like everybody that's interested, let's chase them out with a stick. You need to just sit here and say what we think over and over again. Goo goo gaga, Bitcoin only, Bitcoin is money. No, no, no. I don't care if you do anything interesting. You failed the purity test, so get out. You don't belong here. You're not allowed to be a Bitcoiner. It's like this isn't real criticism. I don't know what this is. This is just it's goo goo gaga pleb slop cancel culture is what it is. I'm not saying don't criticize, but it's just like holy shit, like these guys, they just whip themselves into a frenzy, like they need something to attack, and I don't know what it is. Like, yes, the world is super fucked up, but like going and tearing things down, like the reason why just like going after people and tearing them down isn't always the most productive activity is because you're not really doing anything. You're not building anything. You're not promoting anything of value. And you see these guys, these goo goo gaga pleb slop cancel culture guys, like they grasp for straws when they're asked to you know, provide anything of value. So they don't understand what they're doing. They don't understand what they're talking about. They're just like, I'm on this team. And they're like, buy this trinket and it'll make a difference. That's the best they got. They become trinket salesmen. They're not even getting paid for it. Some of them have ref links. Uh, but anyways, I think Noah's pretty cool, and I am excited that this post got some engagement. I think she's a rising star, and I think she's well deserving of getting launched on the PodConf tour, telling a bit about her story, getting attention, having people see the stuff that she's working on. She's an incredible singer. But I think there's more of these opportunities with individuals with storytelling. Like, you know, if we are actually doing anything remotely close to the truth, it should be the easiest for us to tell compelling stories. Because everybody else that is promoting distortions of reality in order to try and sway the plebs in one direction or another, it takes a lot of energy to fabricate. It takes a lot more energy to fabricate reality than it does to just describe reality. And this is why, you know, these angry plebs that go out there and they issue the purity test and they chase people away and are super just like atrociously unattractive. Any hot women they see, Gloria, Lil Leeds, they go after them. They they hit them with purity tests. You failed. You would have never made it through Bitcoin University. They're chasing people away that could be compelling storytellers tellers for nothing. And you know, their response might be like, "Oh well, who wants them anyways? These shitcoin scammers." It's like not all of these people are shitcoin scammers. It's just like, you know, they show up and they're interested in something. And the first, like, imagine you go to a party, you're walking around trying to see what's going on. You don't know anybody. Somebody walks up to you and they're like, they issue you a purity test right on the spot. And you walk down more, and everybody you talk to, you're like, "Are you this? Are you that?" You're like, these guys are a bunch of fucking losers. Because like one of the things that you persuade people, there's a reason to attack people. The reason to attack somebody, you know, is if you have an audience that is watching. And most of these plebs have no audience. But if you have a big audience and you're trying to, you know, persuade people watching, like that's a reason to go after somebody. But when your audience is a bunch of losers that don't matter and think exactly the way that you do, you're really not doing anything at all. Other than sniffing your own farts and having your friends sniff your farts. It's about all you're accomplishing. And it might actually be contradictory to what your intended goals are. It might be working against yourself. Because somebody that might be an ally, you're chasing them away. And I think, you know, part of the way to, you know, make your ideology or perspective compelling and interesting is to tell a compelling or interesting story and get good at it. Speaking of which, Avi Burra is trying to do this. I need to read his book, but he just released his second book. Go over to his Twitter profile or his Nostr profile, Avi Burra, and check it out. But he's writing fiction books. Like, he gets this. He's doing all sorts of cool stuff. He is he's doing these docu-series, which are, you know, better than, you know, what you'll see on PBS because they're more interesting. But he's doing these docu-series called Finding Home, like talking to people that are interested in Bitcoin around the world. He just did one in the Czech Republic. It was pretty interesting. He's a guy to support. He'll probably pass all your purity tests too. I mean, start out with the guys that passed all your purity tests. Like, but yeah. Anyways, I don't know. I don't even know why I'm talking to the plebs. I guess by giving alternatives, I'm just showing, when they don't change their behavior, I'm just showing how unreasonable they are. In the rest of the audience that uses their brains and is either sitting at the adult table or wanting to. We'll just kind of see the dynamics a little bit more clearly. I guess it is productive to talk this way, but yeah, we're wrapping this up, folks. This is Music Mondays on the Paznia Radio Network. You can catch me unless the last month we had a hiccup for a variety of reasons. Two different reasons a week. But or sorry, that month. But usually you can catch me Monday nights, first and third Monday of the month. Just rambling and playing music. I try to always have new music on this show. And I anticipate to. I have been spending a lot of time writing. It's one of my favorite things that I am doing right now. And I think it adds. We use a lot of the music on our podcast. Rod's been writing a lot. It's been great to see. He's put out some real bangers recently, but you can find most of our music on Spotify, YouTube, or Wave Lake. But yeah, this final song, folks, is called Winter Chill, and I think it's the start of a new album or new EP that I think is going to be pretty cool. Kind of this like moody, wintry music. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. This is it. Sending us out with the debut of Winter Chill.
Winter chill is in the air. The cold may come with crisp despair. Times are hard, there's uncertainty, but losing hope is not our destiny. Guard your heart, guard your mind. Together our fates are intertwined. Choose to embark out on the front The universe rewards those with courage.